Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Georgia basketball releases full non-conference schedule. We will talk about it right now. I'm waiting for it to load. I am waiting for it to load. Georgia basketball non-conference schedule. Very, very interesting schedule. There's a lot of people talking crap about it, but so as you know, Georgia on November 3rd will open versus Bellarmine at 7:30. We'll play Maryland Eastern Shore November 5th at 7. Morehead State at 2 o'clock November 9th. November 14th, Georgia and Georgia Tech basketball game on Friday night at 9 p.m. So the Friday night game comes back, which I love. November 17th versus Florida A&M in Athens at 6:30. November 21st versus Xavier at 9 o'clock in the Charleston Classic. The 23rd at Clemson or West Virginia at 1 o'clock or 3:30. That game is not officially announced yet. November 29th versus Tennessee Tech at 2 o'clock. December 2nd versus Florida State. An SEC-ACC Challenge at 9 o'clock. We talked about that earlier yesterday. December 3rd, Georgia versus Cincinnati in Atlanta at 2 o'clock on ESPNU. Then Western Carolina, West Georgia, and Long Island at 7 o'clock, 2 o'clock, 7 o'clock on December 18th, 22nd, and 29th. So we'll do a longer version of this later on. But I just want to say that I am happy that the Georgia and Georgia Tech game is at 9 o'clock on Friday night. That always is very special to me. I'm about to see this Georgia play football because having it at 2 o'clock, Georgia plays Morehead State at 2 o'clock November 9th. I don't think that Georgia plays football that day. Yeah, that is a day after the Mississippi State game in football, and I don't revolt my schedule around Georgia football, especially when it comes to basketball. Because if you remember the last few years, they played games on football. I recorded and did the football and recorded and covered the basketball games. So yeah, I was just trying to see. I'm not one of those people. I love Georgia football, second favorite sport, but basketball obviously is number one. That's why I built myself up for basketball. So that's why I'll always cover it number one over football. Just more interesting, the Cincinnati game at 2 o'clock. So we get the early games. That means Auburn will get the late game. Western Carolina at 7 o'clock. West Georgia. I believe that I did videos for all of these games that were announced. So we pretty much was spot on in the non-conference slate. I appreciate everybody watching all off season. Off season's almost over, guys. Practice just started this week. So Georgia basketball will be back before you know it, which is a really, really good thing. Georgia Tech, but Georgia Tech on November 14th at 9 o'clock. That just makes my heart happy. I mean, I love it. I love the fact that it's a Friday night game, just like last year, just like 2022 to 26 season. It also was a Friday night game. I just love it. I think that when you play that game on Friday night, it makes more sense than it would playing it at the middle, at 6 o'clock on a Monday or something like that. Playing it on Friday night, 11 o'clock makes sense, but the date kind of does not make sense because the Georgia Tech game used to be way after the basketball game. Now that's even before the football game. I mean, Georgia Tech basketball game used to be before the football game. I still think that might not be. The Georgia Tech football game is November 28th, and Georgia Tech basketball game is November 14th. So yeah, obviously playing in the Charleston Classic is going to be big for Georgia. I believe we beat Xavier. And if you ask me today who won Clemson and West Virginia, I'm going Clemson. So it'd be Georgia and Clemson in the championship game. That would be very interesting considering they have not played in basketball since 2019. 2018-19 season, they played in the Cayman Islands Classic. They have not played in a regular season game since 2014-15 and 15-16. Georgia lost to Clemson to beat them in Athens. So Georgia plays Tennessee Tech. We played them last year. We played at Florida State. We beat them 2 years ago in the SEC ACC Challenge. We played Cincinnati. We played Cincinnati in 2020, 21, and 2021, 22. The first one was during COVID. Georgia won that game, and then the second one was in Cincinnati. That was the game Georgia played. That was the day Georgia played Tennessee in football. That's why I've never actually seen the second half of the Georgia-Tennessee football game for that year. Chuck Dowdle and Mark Sloniker did the game. So a rare Chuck Dowdle play-by-play game as well for the Georgia Bulldog Sports Network. Georgia plays Western Carolina. They seem to play them a lot the last few years. Bellarmine, Maryland East Shore, Morehead State, and Long Island. This will probably be the first time Georgia... I know for a fact Bellarmine, Maryland Eastern Shore, and Morehead State and Long Island, so this will be the first time Georgia's played those teams. Florida A&M is the usual on Georgia's schedule. Texas Tech is the usual on Georgia's schedule. But Long Island, Bellarmine, Maryland East Shore, and Morehead State, Georgia has never played before, so it's always cool to see new teams on the schedule. But we'll get more. We'll do a deeper dive in this another day. There it is. Georgia basketball non-conference schedule complete. All we need now is the SEC schedule to come out, and Georgia's entire schedule will be complete. So we're back. And, we're ready to go whenever the season starts. It's almost here, ladies and gentlemen. So Georgia basketball officially releases non-conference schedule. The SEC schedule might already be out, actually, now that I think about it. But anyway, I'm waiting for Georgia to put official schedule graphics so we go over it, but that might take a minute. So let's go Dogs.